Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter number 13, verse number 147. We will continue from Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhete Girim Yat Kripatanam Vande Shri Gurum Din Tarinam Paramananda Madham Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Tumi Vrajera Jivana Vraja Rajera Pranadhana Tumi Rajera Sakala Sampad Kripadra Tomar Mana Asi Jiayo Vrajjana Vraje Uday Karao Nijapada. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nand Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan live. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. Purport: Srimati Radharani did not express her personal unhappiness at being separated from Krishna. She wanted to evoke Krishna's feelings for the condition of all others in Vrindavan Dham. Mother Yashoda, Maharaj Nand, the cowherd boys, the gopis, the birds and bees on the banks of Yamuna, the water of Yamuna, the trees, the forests, and all other paraphernalia associated with Krishna before he left Vrindavan for Mathura. These feelings of Srimati Radharani were manifested by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he invited Lord Jagannath, Krishna, to return to Vrindavan. That is the purport of the Ratha-yātrā cars going from Jagannath Puri to the Gundicha temple. Verse 148. Shuniya Radhika Vani Vraja Prema Mane Ani Bhave Vyakulita Deha Mana Vraja Lokera Prema Shuni Apnake Rini Mani Kare Krishna Tanre Ashvasanam. After hearing Srimati Radharani's statements, Lord Krishna's love for the inhabitants of Vrindavan was evoked, and his body and mind became very much perturbed. After hearing of their love for him, he immediately thought himself to be always indebted to the residents of Vrindavan. Then Krishna began to pacify Srimati Radharani as follows. Verse 149. Pranapriye Shuna Mora E Satya Vachana Tuma Sabar Smarane Juron Muniratri Dine Mora Dukha Na Jane Kona Jana. My dear Srimati Radharani, please hear me. I am speaking the truth. I cry day and night simply upon remembering all you inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one knows how unhappy this makes me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It is said, Vrindavan Parityajya Padam Ekam Na Gacchati. In one sense, Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidanand Vigraha, does not even take one step away from Vrindavan. However, in order to take the care of various duties, Krishna had to leave Vrindavan. He had to go to Mathura to kill Kamsa, and he was taken by his father to Dwarka, where he was busy with the state affairs and disturbances created by demons. Krishna was away from Vrindavan, and he was not at all happy. As he plainly disclosed to Srimati Radharani, she is the dearmost life and soul of Sri Krishna, and he expressed his mind to her as follows. Verse 150. Vrajavasi Yata Jana Mata Pita Sakha Gana Sabe Hai Mora Prana Sama Dandra Madhe Gopi Gana Sakshat Mora Jivana Tumi Mora Jivanera Jivana. Shri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, father, cowherd boyfriends, and everything else are like my life and soul. And among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. And among the gopis, you, Srimati Radharani, are the chief. Therefore, you are the very life of my life. Purport: Srimati Radharani is the center of all Vrindavan's activity in Vrindavan. Krishna is the instrument of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan still chant Jai Radhe. From Krishna's own statement given herein, it appears that Radharani is the queen of Vrindavan and that Krishna is simply her decoration. Krishna is known as Madan Mohan, the enchanter of Cupid, but Srimati Radharani is the enchanter of Krishna. Consequently, Srimati Radharani is called Madan Mohan Mohini, the enchanter of Cupid. Verse 151. Tuma sabar prema rase amake karila vashe. Ami tumar adhina kevala tuma sabha chadna. Ama dur deshe lena rakhiyache durdeva prabala. My dear Srimati Radharani, I am always very subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control. Only my separation from you and residence in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. Verse 152. Priya priya sange hina, priya priya sange vina nahi jiye e satya praman mora dasha sone yabe tandra e dasha habe e bhai dunhe rakhe prana. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or a man is separated from his beloved woman, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for each other, for if one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will also die. Verse 153. Sai sati premavati premavansai pati viyoge ye vanche priyahite na gane apan dukha vanche priyajana sukha sai dui mile achirate. Such a loving, chaste wife and loving husband desire all welfare for each other in separation and do not care for personal happiness, desiring only each other's well-being. Such a pair certainly meet again without delay. Verse 154. Rakite tomar jivana sevi ami narayana tandra shakti asi niti niti toma sane krida kari niti yae yadupuri taha tumi manha mora sfurti. You are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment just to keep you going, living. I worship Lord Narayan by his merciful potency. I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then return to Dwarkadham. Thus you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. Verse number 155. Mora bhagya mo vishaye tomar ye prema hai se prema param prabala lokan ama ane sang karaye toma sane prakateha anibe satvara. Our love affair is more powerful because of my good fortune receiving Narayan's grace. This allows me to come there to be unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Purport: Krishna has two kinds of presence, prakat and aprakat, manifest and unmanifest. These are identical for the sincere devotees. Even if Krishna is not physically present, the devotee's constant absorption in the affair of Krishna makes him always present. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.38. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shyam Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Due to his intense love, the pure devotee always sees Lord Krishna present within his heart. All glories to Govinda, the primeval personality of Godhead. When Krishna is not manifest before the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they are always absorbed in thoughts of him. Therefore, even though at the time Krishna was living in Dwarka, he was simultaneously present before all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This was his aprakat presence. Devotees who are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna will soon see Krishna face to face without a doubt. In other words, devotees who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and are fully absorbed in thoughts of Krishna certainly return home back to Godhead. They then see Krishna directly, face to face, talk with him and enjoy his company. This is confirmed in Bhagavad-Gita 4.9. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti. So Arjuna, because during his lifetime a pure devotee is always speaking of Krishna and engaging in his service, as soon as he gives up his body, he immediately returns to Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna is personally present. He then meets Krishna directly. This is successful human life. This is the meaning of Prakateha Anibe Satvara. The pure devotee will soon see the personal manifestation of Lord Shri Krishna. Verse 156. Yadavera vipaksha yata dushta kam sapaksha taha ami kailun sabakshaya ache dui chari jana taha mari vrindavana ailama ami janiha nishchaya. I have already killed all the mischievous demons who are the enemies of the Yadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kamsa and his allies, but there are 2 or 4 demons still living. I want to kill them, and after doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavan. Please know this for certain. Purport. Just as Krishna does not take a step away from Vrindavan, Krishna's devotee also does not like to leave Vrindavan. However, when he has to tend to Krishna's business, he leaves Vrindavan. After finishing his mission, a pure devotee returns home, back to Vrindavan, back to Godhead. Krishna assured Radharani that after killing the demons outside Vrindavan, he would return. I am coming back very soon, he promised, as soon as I have killed the few remaining demons. Verse 157. Sai Shatru Gana Haite Vraja Jana Rakite Rahi Rajye Udasina Hena Yeba Stri Putra Dhane Kari Rajye Avarane Yadu Ganera Santosh Lagiya. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the attacks of my enemies. This is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise, I am indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the Yadus. Verse 158. Tumhari ye prem guna kare ama akarshana anibe ama dina dash bishe punha asi Vrindavane Vrajavadhu Tomasane Vilasiba Rajani Rajani Divase. Your loving qualities always attract me to Vrindavan. Indeed, they will bring me back within 10 or 20 days, and when I return, I shall enjoy both day and night with you and all the damsels of Vrajabhumi. So Vrajavadhus is addressed to all the damsels of Vrindavan. Verse 159. Eta Tanre Kahi Krishna Vraje Yaite Satrishna Eka Shloka Padi Shunaila Sai Shloka Shuni Radha Khandila Sakala Badha Krishna Praptye Pratiti Haila. While speaking to Srimati Radharani, Krishna became very anxious to return to Vrindavan. He made her listen to a verse which banished all her difficulties and which assured her that she would again attain Krishna. Verse 160. Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amrit tatvaya kalpate dishtya yad asin mat sneho bhavatinam mad apanaha. Lord Shri Krishna said, devotional service unto me is the only way to attain me. My dear gopis, whatever love and affection you have attained from me, by good fortune is the only reason for my returning to you. Purport. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.82.44. Verse 161. Esaba artha prabhu swarupera sane ratri dine khare vasi kare aswadane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sit in his room with Swarup Damodar and taste the topics of these verses day and night. Verse 162. Nritya kale se bhave avishta hena shloka padi nache jagannath mukha chena. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced completely absorbed in ecstatic emotion. While looking at the face of Lord Jagannath, he danced and recited these verses. Verse 163. Swarup Gosanira Bhagya Nayay Varanan Prabhute Avishta Yandra Kai Vakya Mana. No one can describe the good fortune of Swarup Damodar Goswami, for he is always absorbed in the service of the Lord with his body, mind, and words. Verse 164. Swarupera Indriye Prabhura Nijendriya Gana Avishta Hena Kare Gan Aswadana. The senses of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of Swarup. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to become fully absorbed in tasting the singing of Swarup Damodar. Verse 165. Bhavera aveshe kabhu bhumite vasiya tarjanite bhume likhe adhomukha heram. In emotional ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes sit on the ground and looking down would write on the ground with his finger. Verse 166. Angulite kshata habe jani damodara bhai nija kare nivarye prabhu kara. Fearing that the Lord would injure his finger by writing in this way, Sarup Damodar checked him with his own hand. Verse 167. Prabhura bhavan rupa swarupera gana gan yabe ye rasa taha kare murtiman. Swarup Damodar used to sing exactly according to the ecstatic emotion of the Lord. Whenever a particular mellow was being tasted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar would personify it by singing. Verse 168. Shri Jagannathera dekhe Shri Mukha Kamala tahar upar sundar nayana yugala. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked upon the beautiful lotus-like face and eyes of Lord Jagannath. Verse 169. Suryera kirane mukha kare jhalamala malya vastra divya alankara parimala. Lord Jagannath was garlanded, dressed with nice garments and adorned with beautiful ornaments. His face was glittering from the rays of sunshine and the entire atmosphere was fragrant. Verse 170. Prabhura Ridaye Ananda Sindhu Uthaila Unmad Jhanjavat Tat Kshane Uthila. Jhanjavat is hurricane, same as Hindi. An ocean of transcendental bliss expanded in the heart of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and symptoms of madness immediately intensified like a hurricane. Verse 171. Anando made unmade uthaye bhaver tarang nana bhav sainye upajila yuddha rang. The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions. The emotions appeared like opposing soldiers staging a fight. Verse 172. Bhavodaya Bhavashanti Sandhi Shabalya Sanchari Satvika Sthai Swabhav Prabalya. There was an increase in all the natural emotional symptoms. Thus, there were awakening emotions, peacefulness, joined, mixed, transcendental and prevalent emotions, and impetuses for emotions. Verse 173. Prabhuza Sharira Yena Shuddha Himachala Bhava Pushpa Druma Tahe Pushpita Sakala. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body appeared like a transcendental Himalayan mountain bearing ecstatic emotional flower trees, all of them blooming. Verse 174. Dekhite akarshye sabar chittamana premamrita vrishtiye Prabhu sinche sabar mana. The sight of these symptoms attracted everyone's mind and consciousness. Indeed, the Lord sprinkled everyone's mind with the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. Verse 175. Jagannath Sevak Yat Raj Patra Gana Yatrika Lok Nilachal Vasi Yat Jana. He sprinkled the minds of servants of Lord Jagannath, the government officers and the pilgrim visitors, the general populace and all the residents of Jagannath Puri. Verse 176. Prabhura Nritya Premi Dekhi Hai Chamatkar Krishna Prema Uchaila Ridaye Sabar. Upon seeing the dancing and ecstatic love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became astonished in their hearts they became infatuated with the love of Krishna. 177. Preme nache gaye lok kare kolahal prabhura nritya dekhi sabe anande vivhala. Everyone danced and chanted in ecstatic love, and a great noise resounded. Everyone was overwhelmed with the transcendental bliss just to see the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 178. Anyera ki kaye Jagannath haladhara prabhura nritya dekhi sukhe chalila manthara. Apart from others, even Lord Jagannath, Balram, and with great happiness began to move very slowly upon seeing the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Verse 179. Kabhu sukhe nritya ranga dekha Ratha-yātrā Se kontuk ye dekhila se tar sakshi. Lord Jagannath and Lord Balaram sometimes stopped the car and happily observed Lord Chaitanya's dancing. Anyone who was able to see them stop and watch the dancing bore witness to their pastime. Verse 180. Eimata Prabhu Nitya Karite Brahmite Pratap Rudrera Age Lagila Padite. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and wandering in this way, he fell down in front of Maharaj Pratap Rudra. Verse 181. Sambrame Pratap Rudra Prabhu ke dharila tanha ke dekhite Prabhura bahya gyan haila. Maharaj Pratap Rudra picked up the Lord with great respect, and upon seeing the king, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external senses. Verse 182. Raja dekhi Mahaprabhu karena dhikkar chichi vishaira sparsha haila amar. After seeing the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemns himself, saying, "Oh, how pitiful it is that I have touched a person who is interested in mundane affairs." Verse 183. Aveshite Nityananda haila savadhane Kashishwara Govinda achila annesthane. Not even Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Kashishwara with Govinda took care of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he fell down. Nityananda was in great ecstasy, and Kashishwara and Govinda were elsewhere. Verse 184. Yadyapi Rajar dekhi hadira sevana prasanna hanche tandre milibare mana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already been satisfied by the king's behavior, for the king had accepted the service of a sweeper for Lord Jagannath. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually desired to see the king. Verse 185. तथापि आपन गणे करिते सावधान बाह्य किछु रोषा bhasha kaila Bhagwan. However, just to warn his personal associates, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu externally expressed feelings of anger. Purport: when Maharaj Prataprudra asked to see the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately refused, saying, Nishkinchanasya Bhagvat Bhajanon Mukhya se Param Param Jigamishur Bhava Sagayasya Samdarshanam Vishayanam Atayoshitam Cha Ha Hridaya Hanta Hanta Visha Bhakshanto Api Asadhu. This is from Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak 8.23. The word Nishkinchanasya refers to a person who has finished his material activities. Such a person can begin to execute his activities in Krishna consciousness. To come cross over the ocean of nations, it is very dangerous for such a person to have intimate relationships with mundane people or to become intimately related with women. This formality is to be observed by anyone who is serious about going back home, back to Godhead, to teach his personal associates these principles. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expressed external anger when touched by the king. Since the Lord was very much satisfied by the humble behavior of the king, he intentionally allowed the king to touch him, but extremely he had expressed anger just to warn his own personal associates. Verse 186. Prabhura vachane rajar mane haila bhaya sarvame kahe tumina kara samshaya. King Prataprudra became frightened when Lord Chaitanya showed external anger, but Sarva Bhattacharya told the king, "Don't worry." Verse 187. Tumar upare prabhura suprasanna mana tuma lakshya kari shikhaye yena nija gana. Sarva Bhattacharya informed the king, "The Lord is very satisfied with you," pointing out he was teaching his personal associates how to behave with mundane people. Although outwardly the king was a mundane man interested in money and women, Internally, he was purified by devotional service. He showed this by engaging in a street sweepers to please Lord Jagannath. A person may appear to be pounds and shillings man, interested in men and women, but if he is actually very meek and humble and surrendered to Lord, personality of Godhead, he is not mundane. Such a judgment can be made only by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his very confidential devotees. As a general principle, however, no devotee should intimately mix with mundane people interested in money and women. Verse 188. Avsar jani ami kariba nivedana sai kalis ye yae kariha prabhura milan. Sahaba Bhattacharya continued, I shall submit your petition when there is an opportune moment. It will then be easy for you to come and meet the Lord. Verse 189. Tabe Mahaprabhu Ratha Pradakshina Kariya Ratha Pache Yae Thele Rathe Matha Diya. After circumambulating Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went behind the car and began pushing it with his head. 190. Thelitai Chalila Ratha Hada Hada Kari Chaturdike Loka Sabe Bale Hari Hari. As soon as he pushed, the car immediately started to move, making a rattling noise. The people all around began to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hari Hari, verse 191. Tabe Prabhu Nija Bhakta Gana Lena Sange Baladeva Subhadra Gare Nitya Kare Range. Verse 191. Tabe Prabhu Nija Bhakta Gana Lena Sange Baladeva Subhadra Gare Nitya Kare Range. As the car began to move, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates in front of the car, occupied by Lord Balaram and Subhadra, the goddess of fortune. Greatly inspired, he then began to dance in front of them. Verse 192. Tahan Nritya Kari Jagannath Age Aila Jagannath Dekhi Nritya Kari Te Lagila. After finishing the dance before Lord Baldev and Subhadra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came before Lord Jagannath's car. Upon seeing Lord Jagannath, he began to dance again. Verse 193. Chaliya Aila Ratha Balagandi Sthane Jagannath Ratha Rakhi Dekhe Dine Vame. When they reached the place called Balagandi, the Lord Jagannath stopped his car and began to look left and right. Verse 194. Vame Vipra Shasana Narikela Vana Dahine Ta Pushpodayana Yena Vrindavana. On the left side, Lord Jagannath saw a neighborhood of Brahmins and coconut tree grove. On the right side, he saw nice flower gardens resembling those in the holy place, Vrindavan. Purport: Vipras Shasana is a word generally used in Orissa province to indicate the quarters where Brahmins live. Verse 195. Aage nritya kare Gaura Lena Bhakta Gana Ratha Rakhi Jagannath Karena Darshana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees were dancing in front of the car, and Lord Jagannath, having stopped the car, watched the dancing. Verse 196. Sai sthale bhoga lage ache niyama koti bhoga Jagannath kare asvadan. It was customary that food be offered to Lord at Viprasa Shasana. Indeed, innumerable dishes of food were offered, and Lord Jagannath tasted each one of them. Verse 197. जगन्नाथेरा छोटा बड़ा यत भक्त गणा निज निज उत्तम भोग करे समर्पणा. All kinds of devotees of Lord Jagannath, from neophytes to the most advanced, offered their best cooked food to the Lord. 198. Raja Raja Raj Mahishi Vrinda Patra Mitra Gana Nilachala Vasi Yata Chota Bada Jana. These devotees included the king, the queens, his ministers and friends, and all other big and small residents of Jagannath Puri. Verse 199. Nana Deshera Deshi Yata Yatrika Jana Nija Nija Bhogatahan Kare Samarpana. All the visitors who had come from different countries to Jagannath Puri, as well as the local devotees, offered their personally cooked food to the Lord. Verse 200. Aage pache dui parshve pushpodyan vane yei yaha paye lagaye naika niyame. The devotees offered their food everywhere, in front of the car, behind it, on the two sides, and within the flower garden. Wherever possible, they made their offering to the Lord, for there was no hard and fast rules. Verse 201. Bhogera samay lokera maha bhida haila nritya chari Mahaprabhu upavane gela. While the food was being offered, a large crowd of people gathered. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped his dancing and went to the nearby garden. Verse 202. Premaveshe Mahaprabhu upavana pana pushpodhyane griha pindai rahila padiya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the garden and, immersed in a great ecstatic motion, fell flat on a raised platform there. Verse 203. Nitya parishrame prabhura dehe ghana gharma sugandhi shitala vayu karena sevana. The Lord was very much fatigued from the hard labor of dancing, and there was perspiration all over his body. He therefore enjoyed the fragrant cool breeze of the garden. Verse 204. Yata bhakta kirtaniya asiya arame prati vriksha tale sabe karena vishrame. All the devotees who had been performing Sankirtan came there and took rest under each and every one. Verse 205. Eita kahilam prabhura maha sankirtana jagannathere age yaiche karila nartana. This I have described the great performance of congregational dancing by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he danced in front of the Lord Jagannath. Thus, I have described the great performance of congregational chanting by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he danced in front of the Lord Jagannath. Verse 206. Rathe grete prabhu yaiche karila nartana chaitanya shakte rupa gosani karyache varnana. In his prayer known as Chaitanya Ashtaka, Srila Rupa Goswami has given a vivid description of the Lord's dancing before the cart of Jagannath. Purport: Srila Rupa Goswami composed 3 prayers with the title Chaitanya Ashtaka, the very next quoted in text 7 from the first of the Chaitanya Ashtaka prayers, which is included in the book Stvamala. Verse 207. Ratha-rudha syarad adhina padavi nilachal pater adabra premormi sfurita natan ullas vivashah saharsham gayadibhi parivrit tanur vaishnav jane sachatanya kim me punar api drishor yasyati padam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced down the main road in great ecstasy before Lord Jagannath, the master of Nilachal, who was sitting in his car, overwhelmed by the transcendental bliss of before Lord Jagannath, the master of Nilachal, who was sitting on his car, overwhelmed by the transcendental bliss of dancing and surrounded by Vaishnavas who sang the holy names, he manifested waves of ecstatic love of Godhead. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again be visible to my wisdom. Verse 208. Iha ye shune se Shri Chaitanya paye sudrida vishwas saha prema bhakti hai. Anyone who hears this description of the car festival will attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will also attain the elevated state by which he will have firm conviction in devotional service and the love of Godhead. Verse 209. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit following in their footsteps. Purport thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose to Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 13th chapter, describing Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic dance at Lord Jagannath's car festival. Thank you for joining. Hare Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.